BYD recently hired Hungary's former foreign minister. There's no way I'm going to be able to say his name, so let's just call him Mr. Big Pete. Let's call him Big P or something. He's called Péter Szijjártó. I'll put it on the screen for you. And they wanted him to lead its international relations and business development, while it can kind of look like a standard corporate appointment. The data behind this actually reveals a massive geopolitical strategy. Szijjártó, as a lot of news anchors would say, they'd start with his surname, which is a terrible idea in this case, I can't say that. Szijjártó served as Hungary's top diplomat for nearly 12 years. His shift into the auto industry comes as the European Union, again, tries hard, very, very hard, to restrict Chinese electric vehicles using aggressive trade barriers. At the minute, right now, 2026, or middle of 2026, the European Union levies a 17% countervailing duty on electric cars imported from China by BYD. When added to the standard 10% auto import tariff, BYD faces a total of 27% in tax on every single vehicle shipped from China into the European Union. That's quite a lot. It does make it a lot more expensive, still quite cheap though. The European Union is using these penalties to insulate domestic brands, applying varying rates across competitors. Geely as well, they face an extra 18.8% tariff. Tesla's Shanghai-built cars also see a 7.8%, I think it was. And also SAIC is hit with a steep 35.3% extra duty because, of course, they're state-owned. So that's obviously why. BYD is bypassing these tariffs entirely by moving production inside Europe. As we know, they're investing roughly 4 billion euros to build a massive passenger car factory in a place called Szeged, Hungary. At least in my head, that's what it's become known as, Szeged, but I'm sure a Hungarian person's calling me an idiot. But the facility is engineered to reach an annual production capacity of 300,000 vehicles every single year, which is mad, really. Because these cars will be built directly inside the European Union, they avoid the 27% import penalty altogether, shifting from Chinese imports to the European built vehicles. This is not a small footprint. Of course, BYD has established its European headquarters in Budapest and is opening an operations centre that will create 2,000 local jobs covering sales and testing and vehicle development. They also have a commercial vehicle division. Their Hungarian electric bus plant hit a cumulative milestone of 1,000 units in late 2025 and is expanding its facility by 29,000 square metres to ramp up truck and bus assembly. A lot of people don't know this. If you go to London, or actually lots of European cities now, you will see BYD written on the front of buses. Very big deal. People just think they sell cars. That is not the case at all. This massive corporate expansion explains why Szijjártó's appointment is causing intense domestic political friction, because while in government he personally managed the relationship with BYD, which a lot of people don't know about, but he did, noting that the factory agreement required 224 separate rounds of official talks. Moving straight from a ministerial office into an executive role at the company he actively subsidised has drawn a lot of criticism, of course, from political opponents, who all will call this for the next 5 years a classic revolving door scenario. No evidence at all of illegal activity has been presented, but the political optics are pretty controversial, really. Commercially, the timing lines up with huge market growth. Last year, BYD's European sales surged 270%, reaching 188,000 vehicles. In the first 5 months of this year, they already cleared 100,000 deliveries. So that's insane. That's amazing. More than doubling their volume from the exact same period a year earlier. So this surge is occurring as the European buyers rapidly pivot. In May, overall registrations for battery electric vehicles across the UK, the European Union, the EFTA grew by 39.1%, while traditional petrol and diesel registrations both dropped by roughly 19%. Chinese brands completely outstripping the market in that exact same month as well. So BYD's registrations rose 136.6%. Chery's climbed 244.1%, I think it was, and Leapmotor spiked by 465.1%. This data, to me at least, highlights a massive contradiction for European policymakers. They need affordable EVs to hit very, very strict climate goals, but want to protect local companies like Volkswagen and Stellantis from being underpriced, and then they will be just forced out. BYD's strategy solves all its regional challenges at once. They will beat the tariffs with local manufacturing, manage political friction by hiring the former foreign minister, of course a great move, and eliminate brand skepticism by building local supply networks. They are embedding themselves so deeply into the European economy that it becomes impossible, literally impossible, to just treat them as an outside Chinese manufacturer or exporter. You can book a one-on-one consultation with me if you've got to you can book a one-on-one consultation with me if you'd like to talk about your next EV purchase, or solar panels for your housey business, or batteries for your housey business. You're very welcome to do that. Also, you can join. Please do consider that. You can join, and you can join on YouTube and on Patreon, and we can have a good chat. So thank you so much. See you in the next video. Szijjártó, as a lot of news anchors would say, they'd start with his surname, which is a terrible idea in this case. I can't say that. Szijjártó served as Hungary's top diplomat for nearly 12 years. His shift into the auto industry comes as the European Union, again, tries hard, very, very hard, to restrict Chinese electric vehicles using aggressive trade barriers. At the minute, right now, 2026, or middle of 2026, the European Union levies a 17%